Well, guys, welcome to tonight's webinar, and I think we get the show on the road. But it's been very, very exciting this last couple of weeks, actually. I mean, we had a great break over in Bali and come back and been doing a heap of stuff. And I guess what happens is the more you get into this, the more excited you get. And then today we had a couple of great webinars, one live with Jay Bennett. We were able to get on, and we could only get a handful of our team onto that because it was being run by somebody else, actually. And we really enjoyed that. And then also listened to a Zach Slobin, Zach and Eden Slobin, which is up there on the Facebook page, and that was awesome as well. But very, very exciting what's going on out there. And I was just thinking before we started, Melbourne Boat Show has just been on, and it was 33 years ago at the Melbourne Boat Show that I got contacted regarding networking. And at the time I was running my vet practice. I was a partner at a yacht charter company. We had 23 yachts in the fleet at the time. I was doing farm consultancy work and computer programming. And I got talking to this guy who was a garbage contractor, and he mentioned the word networking. And it was interesting, because he wouldn't tell me what it was about. But he asked me a heap of questions about what I wanted to be doing long term. And, what part of my work I enjoyed most. He spent a lot of time doing Jackson Parr's cake recipe, to be honest with you. But he wouldn't tell me what it was about. And anyway, he did it so well, I was prepared to spend a night in a motel the following week down in Melbourne so I could catch up with him the day after that. I was going down again on the Tuesday, and instead of going straight back home, I ended up staying the night so I could catch up with him. And he ended up showing me introduced me to network marketing, and absolutely changed my life totally. And, I was just thinking before, 33 years ago, I'm 66. I've now spent half my life in networking. And, I'm looking forward to it becoming about 75%. So I've still got a long way to go. The mathematicians have worked that out. Reggie's already got it. You can't eat? You can eat. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's exciting what's going on out there. There's no doubt about that. And what I want to do now is we just quickly go in and share some stuff. And we're going to hear from Jack, and we're going to hear from Jay later on as well. So anyway, welcome to tonight's webinar, and a happy new financial year. And I guess my question is, who wants to make more money from Isagenix this financial year than they did last year? And, it's just absolutely fantastic, the opportunity that we've got in our hands. It really is. And what you're going to find, if you want to make more money, you're going to have to do the income-producing activities. That's just how it is. You're going to have to do the income-producing activities. And they are talking to people and finding out if they're prepared to look at some information, sharing the information with people who are prepared to look. Then you've got to follow them up, and then you've got to have conversations with people in your team. And a good idea would be to track how many of those you're doing. I mean, one of the questions Jay Bennett asked tonight was, how many people have you spoken to about Isagenix in the past week? People, not people that are already in, not people in other people's teams, but people that know nothing about it. How many have you spoken to last week? I mean, it was just a question he had. And I just want to point this out, that there are different ways to build an Isagenix business, right? There's lots of different tools that work, lots of different approaches that work, and you've got to work out something that's going to work for you. You really have got to work out something that's going to work for you. And if you're happy doing what you're doing, then, keep doing it, right? And in a lot of cases, if you want to make more money, you're just going to have to do more of it. And keep doing it. That's the trick. But there are lots of different ways to do it. And if we say anything, or I say anything different today to what you've been taught by your active upliner coach, don't change what you're doing. Check with them before you rush in and make any changes. But there are lots of different ways of doing it. And it's exciting. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play a little bit from Zach Slobin. And I mean, we're just so grateful to Mary for putting this up, Mary Fury for putting this up on our Facebook page. Because otherwise we might have missed it. We've just been flat out. And to be honest, I don't spend that much time on Facebook. But this is absolutely fantastic. Listen to this a couple of times, And I'm just going to play it. If you haven't already heard it, go back and listen to it afterwards, right? But we're just going to play a little bit of this at the moment because he's talking about how to talk to people.
David and Angelique did an awesome call on Sunday in regards to connecting, building relationships with people, really taking an interest in who they are, how to present ourselves on social media so that we can create some variety in terms of our interests and what we're talking about, that we're not just pushing a product all the time, so that our new friends don't feel like all we're trying to do is sell them. There was loads of value that they added on the call on Sunday night. We learned a lot, and we're just here to offer a couple of techniques and possibly some language that you can use with these friends that you're making. And at what point do you want to talk with them about Isagenix? At what point do you ask them to take a look? At what point do you let them know that you think they'd be amazing at what you're doing? At what point do you do that? Now, some people will say build the relationship for however long and, you know, allow it to happen naturally. And some people are going to say just go right away, you know, be upfront, be forthcoming, let them know immediately. I kind of dance between the two. There's some people who I meet and right away I just say, you know what, you'd be amazing at what I do. And I use past, present, future with them. And sometimes it's not appropriate. So for example, we met a woman last week while we were out on our dog walk. We talked about health and wellness. She just moved back from the UK. We had a conversation and she and I connected, and we just went on a 2-hour walk this morning, just her and I walking our dogs. I would say out of the 2 hours of our conversation, maybe 10 minutes had to do with Isagenix and our business. That's it. And it wasn't about selling her on anything. It was more than anything telling her more about what I do and building the relationship. I don't want her to think that I'm trying to sell her, and I'm really not. I am really interested in just being her friend. And if it happens to work out and it happens to be a good fit, that over time I really start to see the qualities that would lend themselves to her being an incredible fit inside of our business, then of course I'll start to be more and more forthcoming, more and more upfront, and more direct. But every relationship is going to be a little bit different. And 4.5 years in, I've learned kind of what some of those differences are and how to pivot and move with different relationships. Whereas in the beginning, I was just a vulture and I just prospected everybody all the time. And now I've learned to wait with certain people sometimes, and some people I just really go right at them. You'll learn to feel out different personality types as you go. Sometimes it takes making mistakes and blowing people out of the water to learn when to pull back and when to stop talking, like right now. Do you have anything to add?
No, because I was going to do that whole part, and then you were going to do the other part. So
oh,
you took my part.
I didn't know. Okay, go ahead. What was your part?
Well, no. All right, so a couple of techniques, a couple of tricks, if you will, and they've got to be done authentically, and David and Angelique talked about this, but what you want to do is when you make a new friend and you guys connect on Facebook, you want to go to their profile and you want to select see first. And what that tells Facebook is you want to see their posts first. Now, why do you want to see their posts first? The reason you want to see what's going on with them first is so you can stay up to date and up to speed in their life. If their kid has a birthday, if God forbid there's an illness in their family, if they're taking a trip, you're aware of those things so that when you go to communicate with them, when you go to engage in conversation, you can open with a relevant opener. You can continue the conversation with something that says, hey, I'm paying attention to what you're doing. I'm paying attention to what you're doing. So, how then, once you've connected offline, you've connected online, you've liked some of their photos, you've chatted a little bit, how then do you get them to take a look, or how then do you ask them to take a look if there's somebody based on their social media profile, based on what they're posting, based on what their response rate is like with you, if there's somebody that you actually want to be partnered with? How then do you go about this? So, babe, what are some techniques?
Well, like, for example, this woman who I went walking with this morning, let's say her name is Susie. So I might reach out to Susie. I might shoot Susie a text, or I might give Susie a phone call, depending on the nature of our relationship. And I might say, hey, Susie, I had a really great time with you today. You know, I can't help but think that we could have some really incredible synergy in business together, would you be open to taking a closer look at what I do? Or would you be open to taking a closer look at Isagenix?
Now notice what she didn't do. She didn't send Susie a text message that said, hey Susie, I think you would really benefit from the cellular cleansing products that my company has to offer. She didn't say, hey Susie, I think you'd love the trace amount of ashwagandha that's in our Ionix Supreme. She didn't say, hey, I think you could really benefit from a complete meal replacement shake. She did not do any of those things. What she said was, hey Susie, I can't help but think that you'd be amazing at what I do and that there could be some real synergy in business with us. Are you open to learning more about Isagenix? Now, why is that your approach?
Because I'm building a network marketing business.
So talk about that.
I don't see what I do as promoting a product. I don't promote a product. I don't sell a product.
So you're not a health coach?
No.
You're not a nutritional cleansing coach?
No, I am not.
You're not a superfood cellular cleansing coach?
No.
You are not a specialist in New Zealand grass-fed whey protein?
No.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
I don't promote a product, you guys. This is my attitude. I don't promote a product. I don't. I promote a lifestyle. I promote a lifestyle. My business is lifestyle. My business is teaching people how to create the lifestyle that they've always wanted. That's my business. My business is to build teams of people who create the lifestyle of their dreams. Now that's different for everybody. See, if I promote a lifestyle, then that encompasses a variety of lifestyle that encompasses. I promote a healthy lifestyle. I promote a lifestyle of freedom. I promote a lifestyle of options. I promote a lifestyle of wealth. I promote a lifestyle of travel. I promote a lifestyle of contribution. Lifestyle, it's well-rounded. I don't promote a product.
I love that, right? I just love that. I mean, you got to understand that is a long way from where I started with just product B. A long, long way. But I guess what she just said there is where we're at the moment. And, it's just so exciting. And, to see that full story today from Zach and Eden, it only goes for about half an hour. It's there on the Facebook page, thanks to Mary. And but get on and have a look at it. It's one of the ones, there's a whole heap of notes in there you can take. It's fantastic. And so what happened, because we've been promoting this lifestyle thing on this latest presentation that we've been doing. And that's all part and parcel of it. And, what had happened is, we got it out and people had started using it and looking at it and going through it, and a lot of people are excited about it. And we got some positive feedback from people and, a few suggestions of what we could look at and maybe change a little bit. And so anyway, I ended up spending a whole heap of time, just about all day yesterday, going through, making a few subtle changes. And, after doing it myself a few times, there are some bits that didn't flow just as nicely and quickly and smoothly for me personally as what I would like. It was just practice, you get around it. But anyway, what happened here is you could get on and go through and do this. And so I spent a whole day yesterday going through, making a few changes. And I'm not going to play all the videos and things now, but I just want to share with you where we're at. We're excited to share with you what we found that's make us look and feel so much better, but it's also making a lot of money for a lot of people. And see, depending on how you've contacted the people, right? Now, if you're still talking about product, you can just gloss over the money bit, right? And you can focus on the fact that you're feeling better. But with these slides, you got to understand, you can talk and put your story in around the slides. Now, you don't want to put too much in here, because it's not about you. In the end, it's a question we're asking them. But if it is the money that you're interested in, you can be telling them why you're so excited about the financial opportunity as well. And then what we're doing is not for everyone. We're simply looking for people who are looking for something more in life, whether that be more free time, more money, more energy, better weight control, have more fun, long-term health, or to set up a large ongoing residual income. And then the question is, which of these would you be interested in? Which of these do you want? And seeing depending on their answers to that page as to where you spend your time in the presentation and what you emphasise. But the main thing is to flick through it fairly quickly because I'll get an overview. And the next one is, what is your ultimate goal? And see, again, this question, that works for both health goals and also financial goals, or a combination. But what is your ultimate goal? And truly, guys, what we've got to learn to do, and what Eden was talking about there, was actually spending time with the people even before you get to the presentation to ask them these sort of questions. And see, going through all this is where I realised Steve, my sponsor way back 33 years ago, this is what he did the first day he met me at the boat show. He asked me, what do you want to be doing long term? What's your ultimate goal? And then he also asked me what parts of my work did I enjoy most. He was asking me questions about me. He was showing genuine interest in me. The only thing he'd say about the network is the fact that you can end up with both time and money. And the only way you make any money is by helping other people. Then he wouldn't tell me any more about that at the time. He then offered to drive 180 miles from Melbourne to Kahuna to show me. 180 miles, what are we looking at? 300 kilometres. That's what he's doing. But it was a curiosity approach. But the reason I stayed overnight to see it, because he'd showed genuine interest in me. He'd got me thinking about time and money, going long distance cruising with my family one day. The fact that this business he had, you could run it from home and end up with both time and money. The only way you could help anybody, the only way you could make any money was by helping other people. But that's all he'd tell me. But you can be asking these sort of people, you can be asking these sort of questions before we start dumping Isagenix all over them. We've got it here in the presentation as a reminder, because you can go through it again. And I guarantee you, when people answer this, the more times they answer it, the more it gets cemented into their subconscious mind. And then the next one, third question, is why? Why would you want to do that? Get them to stop and think. Get them to stop and think. Why would you want to do that? Why not just keep doing what you're doing? You've been doing it for X number of years now. But why? I promise you guys, these first few questions are by far the most important part of the whole presentation. You've got to nail this bit down. You can listen to a whole heap of other trainers out there. And they all talk about spending the time, building the rapport, finding out what it is that your people are looking for. Why? And then how would you feel if you achieved your ultimate goal? And again, dig down into this. Some people will say, oh, fantastic. I say, yeah, what else? And I said, you got to get them to stop and imagine it. And then quite often they'll end up with a whole heap of other things in, other emotions. But in the end, it's the emotions that drive them. So you've got to spend time on this bit. This is the most important part. And then one of the points that I had Mo brought out, and Timmy Dwyer brought this up, he said, if we've been talking to people about business, he said, in a lot of cases, going straight through the presentation as we had it prior to yesterday, prior to this morning up there on the site, we didn't actually talk about the business then for well into it. And so we put this in, right? For a business to be successful, it must provide a product or service that solves people's problems both now and in the future. I mean, that's basically the bottom line. I know Leith Adams has been talking to his guys about that, and that's why it's so important to ask the questions, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify a need that they have, a problem that they have. We got to be able to offer a solution, but first of all, we have to identify the need or the problem. And so for a business to be successful, it must provide a product or a service that solves people's problems both now and in the future. And before looking at the business proposal, we'll have a quick look at some of the products and see how well they help people solve problems. Right now, if you've had a product up front approach and you're going through this, well, you can just quickly gloss, bang, bang, straight over these, right? You go from here to here. But if we look at this, we're going to have a look at some of the products and see how well they solve problems. Now, obesity is a huge problem everywhere. Australian government published on the 27th of November that 75 to 80% of middle-aged men are overweight in Australia. 63% of Australian adults are overweight or obese. And see, guys, if you've got a huge problem and we solve problems, what that gives us is a huge business potential. That's huge. And we've sold over $6 billion worth of products since 2002 because our products solve problems. Tens of thousands of lives have been transformed. Many have documented their transformation on social media. Let's just have a quick look at this news report.
Now to the story of the former Australian rugby star who...
Okay, so we then go through and play that bit because that's a TV news report. To see what happens, we can be talking theory, we can be talking how good our products are, but people need social proof. They need social proof. They're watching it on a TV news report. They believe the news. Get through that video. They see the Isolene Sheikh sitting there on the bench. He's talking about doing 2 shakes a day, 4 cleanse days a month, and that's about it. Then we show them some more real results here. These are real results. Real people, real results. Right? And then we can talk about the fact that many personal trainers use and recommend Isagenix. Many have shared they had no idea how good the products would prove to be just by looking at the ingredients list. Mary Evans goes on to explain how she tried them in an effort to prove another trainer wrong. She then goes on to explain how and why they work so well.
Thanks for coming today and checking out Isagenix and taking the time.
And seeing what she talks about is the fact that we've got nutrient deficient foods. That is a huge problem. That's why the shakes work. That's why you can have personal trainers, athletes, etc., get onto our products and do better, perform better and everything. Why? Because of the nutrient depletion of our soils. It doesn't matter whether it's organic or not. We've still got nutrient deficient soils. And what's so funny, I knew that we had nutrient deficient animals when I was a veterinarian. But I never dreamt that those 2 lines from the depleted plants and depleted animals ended up with depleted people. I hadn't made that link. But of course, huge problem, huge business potential. And what we've got with Isagenix is the most nutrient efficient food on the planet. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely phenomenal. And it's only got about the same amount of fructose sugar as a half an apple, that's all. And we live in a toxic environment. This is a huge problem these days. All the harmful toxins that we're ingesting, breathing in, putting on ourselves, etc. What happens? You get the toxins out of your body, you're going to feel younger, feel more energetic, do a whole heap better. Huge problem, huge business potential. And it's not a diet. What we're doing is we're cleansing out the toxins. Instead of the body putting fat around the toxins, we release the toxins, we can keep the fat off. Real results, they work. And the telomere biology story, I mean, again here, depending on whether people are interested or not in this, but this is absolutely phenomenal story. As far as I'm concerned, I believe it's going to end up proving to be the greatest medical breakthrough ever. That's just my opinion. Got the Nobel Prize in 2009 for how chromosomes are protected by telomeres and the enzyme telomerase. And now we'll just have a quick look at a news report, which is unbelievable.
And now, eternal youth. Is it in a cage around the corner? News tonight of a break.
See why that news report's so powerful? That's the first time that it had a living animal that got younger. Didn't matter how you measured it. Right? That was a proof of concept. The fact that if you could alter their telomeres, alter the telomerase, things could get a whole heap better real quick. And Bill Andrews, right? And again, you just go through, read the telomere researcher, discovered human telomerase, second place national inventor of the year, telomere expert, 43 US telomerase patents. Started working with Isagenix in 2010.
Recently, we have this.
But what he says in there is that bad things happen when telomeres get short. And this telomere shortening happens to everybody. So it's a huge problem. In addition to providing telomere support, product B, Isagenesis, was developed to improve overall health and well-being. And plenty of people are experiencing great results. Enhanced energy and stamina, improved quality of sleep, faster recovery after exercise, better memory and mental acuity. Again, huge problem. Everybody in the world is affected by this one. Gives a huge potential. And Jimmy Smith, I've got to look at this. Right? He joined at 74, Isagenesis. Right? There he is on his 80th birthday. Over here on his 90th birthday. A lot of people say he looks better at 90 than he did at 80. Well, you've got to understand, at 80, he'd been on their product 6 years, the cleansing and nutrition products. But at 90, he'd been on it 16 years. And not only had he been on the cleansing and great nutrition for 16 years, he'd also been on the telomere support products for 6 years. He reckons that makes a huge difference to him. And I mean, he's still as fit as a fiddle. Right? He and his daughters made $57 million total. Now this gets me fired up all the time, right? Because I got another 24 years to hit that age. I'm not sure how many years you've got, but you need to work it out. This is a business we're building for the long term. We're building it for the long term. We got heaps of time. He's still fit and healthy, having a ball. And many top athletes love Isagenesis. You can see Yana Pitton and Nat Cook there. Right? Why do they love it? Because it's quick and easy. It provides a complete macronutrient meal, improved performance, better recovery, many lose fat and build extra muscle. And these are guys who are already training. They're already eating clean. They're already doing everything they know. But this is just what happens. You'll see these examples again and again and again. And they also have numerous other additional products specifically designed for the athletes. And the big thing with this video, you've got to understand, guys, there are no paid endorsements in the following video. No paid endorsements. These people are Isagenesis associates like you and I. They got introduced to Isagenesis by a friend who told them this was a good product. They tried it. They found these are phenomenal products. Not only are they happy to use them, but they're happy to share their stories with people.
Athletes know that performance is driven by more than just...
So then you can go through and you can share that bit, right? But it's a proven system that's been helping people with both their health and their finances for 16 years. Now, guys, you've got to understand, here in Australia, we've been going about 11 years, but it's only in 60,000 people that are using it on a regular basis. You go through and you work that out, it's a lot less than 1%. So we're only just getting started. Now, this bit's not in the video. Right? This bit was from today. This bit's not the normal PowerPoint presentation. Right? We haven't got Jay in that. But I just want you to hear what Jay says. There were so many of us that watched this, listen to this today, and we're just so excited.
We've got to put this in front of them. Okay? Rank advancing people in their brain from day one. This. Okay, so
rank advancing people in their brain from day one.
Personally enrolling people, I'm telling you, the only way you're going to drive your cycles is rank advancing people. This should be on your wall and everybody's wall. Yes. So I got a brand new person. When are you going to hit this? Then they hit that. When are you going to hit this? When they hit that, when are you going to hit this? That's it. Now, I bring in 10 people, and I show them this, and only 2 want to rank advance. My friends, that's the only 2 you work with. Let the other 8 go. Pat them on the back, love on them, tell them, good job, I love you very much, but focus on the 2 people that are doing this, this, and this. So here's what, and if you don't have anybody doing this, then you go find them. You keep sponsoring until you do. Okay? You keep sponsoring until you do. But once you get one person doing this, this, and this, you watch what happens. Okay? Associate, put this in front of their face. When are you going to do this, this, and this? Identify the ones that are going to do it and get your arms around them and work with them, partner with them, do everything in your power to build them up that way. I just broke my last executive in 30 days. It was 30 days. 30 days. Okay, the last one, which got me to 23. Okay? So is this making any sense, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely. This is brilliant.
Now, let's talk about our associates and our preferred customers, and let's put this in front of everybody. And I want to share this because this is so simple. All customers should be getting their products paid for. All customers. Who are two people that you know that eat food? I want you to use that line. Who are two people that you know that eat food, that could eat this food with you? Now, people are going to, how can they say they don't know two people that eat food? Now, I use this on everybody. I go, who are two people that you know that eat food? Because here's why. You use the products, you get one in your left, one in your right using products, and you have total access for the entire comp plan. I believe that our customers, our job is for them to consult them, not their job. That's our job. They can't figure that out. They don't know. It's our job to say, who do you know that eats food?
It's our job to say, who do you know that eats food? Right? And if you haven't got anybody that's out doing it, then go and find some. That's it. And so I just put that in there because I want you to understand that fits in with so much of what we got in the rest of this presentation here. Right? You see, this is just going back through. And if we were back here, you'd have a proven system. It's been helping people with both health and finance for 16 years. We're just getting started. And then it's normal to share with friends about a great movie, restaurant, holiday, etc. And many of people have shared these amazing products and enjoy getting their products paid for. So initially we're just talking about getting their products paid for here. And now we're going to hear from Tanya Kirkpatrick, hear what she says after her friend, who was making about $1,000 a week at the time, shared Isagenix with her. Right, so Tanya Kirkpatrick is now speaking.
That day, I could really grab a hold of this thought of if she could do it, I could do it. And I knew that everybody in this world is looking for both more time and more money. I don't care who you are. You know, so many people are like, oh, I'm not going to approach this person because, you know, they're financially set. But what they don't understand is that they're dying inside because they're miserable. They are so strapped for time, and they're not feeling. They're feeling on fumes. So I never prejudge anybody physically or financially.
I never judge anybody physically or financially. I don't prejudge. Everybody needs what we want, what we've got. And to help put the rest of this presentation into perspective for you, just have a think about what your normal weekly spend is on food and groceries, coffees, energy drinks, supplements, snacks and chocolates, cigarettes, alcohol, hair, beauty and nails. I mean, what we want to do here is just get people to stop and think about how much they actually are already spending on these items. Because you can change your life totally by changing how you spend $50 a week on your food, groceries, energy drinks, supplements, snacks and chocolates. By just changing where you're spending your money in those areas, you could change your life totally if you go and share it with other people. And everybody can build a business. Unemployed New Start allowance recipients, pensioners, low-income earners, everybody. Why? Because they are all buying food. If they've got a financial problem, we can help them. But instead of buying all their groceries and food from Coles, Woolworths, IGA, Aldi, etc., they can get at least $50 a week from Isagenix. You've got to understand, $50 would purchase 12 of their 21 meals for the week if it was a single person. And they'd be getting the same food as some Olympic athletes choose to eat. We've just seen that. They do it by choice. These people will be getting the same quality food. Don't want to make a large purchase initially? No worries, right? Simply buy whatever you want at the moment. $25, become a preferred customer, and then you can order again later on. But even if people were just spending $105 every fortnight, right, and buying 24 meals and doing that every 2 weeks, they'd be qualified to receive all of the bonuses that Isagenix hand out. All of the bonuses. And Tanya Kirkpatrick, I mean, her friend was only making $1,000 a week when she showed Tanya the plan, but within 4 years, Tanya was making $40,000 a week. Right? And she's only been in 4 years. Right? Isagenix started in 2002 in the US, so that's nearly 16 years ago. Tanya joined 11 to 12 years after that. Isagenix here in Australia started 11 years ago. Tanya got in 11 years after it started in the US. We started here in Australia 11 years ago. And when Tanya got in, there were already many successful ISA millionaires when she joined in the US. I'd proven to her that it worked. It wasn't theory. She had the social proof. And we got the same thing here in Australia now. That's what's so exciting. We got TV programs saying it works from a product point of view. And then we got all the recognition going on now as well. And so starting Isagenix today in Australia is exactly the same as Tanya starting 4 years ago in the US.
It's not hard. It's not hard unless you make it hard. Because last time I checked, people still go grocery shopping all the time.
People still go grocery shopping all the time. I mean, that's why I was so excited to see Jay Bennett say today it's all just food. When he did the presentation for us a couple of years ago, he didn't say that. Right? He talked about you got to eat the products, but now he's just calling it food because that's what it is. It's food. And then we got Tanya going through and explaining how the money works.
And when I talk about cycles, you have to think about, when you're talking to people, I think about talking to a kindergartner because our mind works in bite-sized chunks. So I'm like, this is a cycle. You have, these people are over here grocery shopping. Every time you get 600 business volume over here, and these people are grocery shopping, every time you get 300 business volume here, it collides together and shoots out to you $54. And they're like, I go, how often do you go grocery shopping? Well, how often do your friends go grocery shopping? Because every time they go grocery shopping, you have an opportunity to earn referral backs. And you have the opportunity to, earn a percentage. Who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't want that? And who do you know that eats food, as Jay Bennett would ask? In an Isagenix, we only build 2 teams. So it all starts with you. You've got to be doing a minimum of 100 BV. We just flick past that one as well. But then we get onto this bit that Jay was talking about. He said, you've got to show this to everybody. This is what he said. First time. So exciting to see him use exactly the same example. You doing 100, them doing 100. You're a consultant. That's what he drew. Everybody doing 100. Then you help them become a consultant. You become a manager. And if you get that done within 60 days, you get an extra $250. So all up it'll be $500 back. $500 back. Helps more people become consultants. You become a crystal director. Get that done within 120 days, it'll be $750. Right? Additional bonus on top of the 100, so it'll be an extra $1,650 all up. And that's just the rank advancement bonuses. There's a whole heap of other bonuses you'd be eligible for as well. But what Jay said is we need to be showing people this. First time. This is what Jay said. I happen to agree with him. That's why we got it here, and why we got it on the share sheet. Right? But that's what Jay said today. That's so exciting. He's making over $2 million a year. This is his idea. He's seen some ups and downs in Isagenix. Right? You share, they share, repeat. You share with 5, they share, repeat. End up with a crowd. If you're not in the numbers, that's just how it works. If you are into numbers, they're all there. Right? In the video that we skipped over with the money, it shows the spreadsheet in there as well. Go through, shows these same numbers. But you share, they share, repeat. Other people share, other people share, other people share, end up with a crowd. So guys, then you'd ask, well, what difference would an extra $600 a week make? Or $30,000 a year? And if we think about Zach Slobin, they were talking about lifestyle. They were talking about travel. They were talking about retirement maybe. They were talking about charities. Right? All of these things here are prompted just by the wonderful photos that Linda found. Right? I mean, you got to understand, guys, when I did this, there were no photos, no pictures. So what difference would an extra $2,000 a week make? 100 grand a year. You got to get them to stop and think. Most people are not thinking that way. This is why this is going to work so well on a PowerPoint where you can stop and talk around it. You can cover any of these points. If they've got any questions, you can answer it on the spot. And although it may seem hard to believe, you can change your life totally by changing how you spend $50 a week. And the people in the following video have all made the change and started sharing the concept with family and friends. They've all made the change. 2 reasons. 1, so you know ordinary Aussies and Kiwis can do it, and you can do it. Don't be put off by the excitement. Right? Don't be put off by the huge incomes. Tens of thousands of people are making smaller amounts. I mean, if you just want to get your products paid for, well, that's fine. If you just want to make a house payment, car payment, that's fine. But remember, if they can do it, you can achieve your goals. And see, guys, the reason we run this is more social proof. I promise you, you watch this, you play this, you watch the new people, they keep their eyes glued to it.
In no particular order, Alan and Simone Richardson, Adam Ismish and Bianca Bathurst, Amanda Rajana, Catherine Russell, Patch and Cassie Blackburn, Daniel Perryman and Natasha Pizarro, Emma Joe.
And see, guys, you got to understand, most people out there do not know people personally that are making $1 million a year. A lot of people wouldn't know anybody that's making $500,000 a year. This is what's happening, though. And it takes a while for this to sink in. You got to understand what we've got to help people to do here. This whole presentation, this is where it's going to be so powerful, is when you start using it and doing it again and again and again, it's not just for the prospects, the people you're showing, it's for you. I guarantee you, you could not go through this 10 times, watch all the videos, speak out each of these words and not get fired up. Your belief in networking would go through the roof just by doing the presentation 10 times. You start being a go-getter, 15 presentations a month, your attitude will be unbelievable, your sponsoring rate will go up, everything will go up because your excitement goes up. I mean, this is just what I've found too. But you've got to understand, guys, if all these people can achieve between 100 and 100,000 a year and 1.5 million a year, here, Aussies, Kiwis, you can do the same. And the top income earners in the US made 3 million a year. Right? Isagenix growth, unbelievable. Our vision, impact world health, free people from physical and financial pain. In the process, become the largest health and wellness company in the world. What's the largest network marketing company? Well, it started way back in 1959, right? 59 years ago, right? Operates in 100 countries. Achieves $11.8 billion annual turnover. Whereas Isagenix, we're only in 17 countries. We've only been going 16 years. And we've only got about $1 billion turnover. But that's our headquarters here in Arizona. It's solid. We've got a solid business. Proven track record. All these things are designed to help people build their belief. Right? We're now operating in 17 countries. We've got Spain in there now. We're only just getting started. Right? But the good news is we can easily connect with people in all of those countries using Zoom. Because Zoom has revolutionized our industry. It allows us to easily build a global business from home, like we're doing tonight. We've got people from the UK on this call tonight. So let's just take a minute and learn from Jimmy Smith, who is at home in the US doing a live training via Zoom to a group in the UK.
Now, I started as an apprentice butcher for a half a cycle, about 25 hours a week. And then I worked 40 years, and when I left that business 40 years later, I was earning the equivalent, maybe 15, 20 cycles at the most, $800 to $1,000 a week in 1983. And I thought I was on top of the world. And now I was introduced to network marketing at age 62. And I spent, from age 62 to 67, I lost money and went bankrupt. From 67 to 74, I made $2 million. I was learning. I was an apprentice. From age 74 to 89, which I'm now, I've earned as a family $57 million. Now just think about this. Put this in perspective. It took, in 40 years, I went from a half a cycle in earnings to about 10 or 15 cycles in earnings. 15 years in Isagenix, I've achieved 850 cycles as an individual myself. 20-star platinum is 850 cycles. And if you include my two daughters, who I brought in and built with, it would be 1,500 to 1,800 cycles a week. And my dear friends, I'm not telling you this to impress you. Not to impress you, to impress upon you what you have sitting in your lap here. This is not a complicated business. People complicate it. It's a very simple business. And if I can convey that to all of you before this call is over, that'll make me happy.
It's a very simple business. You got to do the work, and some people are just not prepared to do the work, right? But it is a simple business. We use the products, make a list, connect with those people on the list, find out or not if they're interested in having a look. If they are, we share the program with them. Then we follow up those we've shared the program with, and we promote the Team FSI system. It's simple, it's easy, and it's fun. Jackson Parr is being interviewed here by Michael Klaus. Now, Jackson's one of the guys you just saw going across stage making $1 million a year. Michael and his wife, Lynn Hagedorn, make $3 million a year. And Jackson shares a little bit of his wisdom and attitude that helped him go from 0 to $700,000 a year in 12 months. All right? Have a good listen to this, because I guarantee this is the key to building a network in here.
Hey everyone, Jackson from Gold Coast, Australia. Turned 27 last month. Been in Isagenix about 15 months now. I am 5-star Crystal Executive, 8-star Platinum.
8-star Platinum. So maxed out your business center in 15 months, and you're a kid, I say respectfully. Right? So for those people who are out there, look, Gold Coast is a beautiful place. I've been there a couple of times. But how in the world did you find enough people to do this? You must have had experience. You must have come from a different company. You must have brought just a huge team of people with you. What's your story?
I was in one other network marketing company for 2 months, and I didn't make a cent. I didn't sign anyone up. I love that question, because obviously I get asked that when people join the team. Will I know enough people? I don't know enough people. And I can honestly tell them, if I can find enough people to talk to, 26, 27, haven't been on this planet that long, then anyone has enough people. We all know enough people, in my belief. If we speak to every single person we know and just share the opportunity and let them decide if they want to do it or not, then we have enough people to max out, or 6 figures, or whatever it is. But I find people pick and choose who they want to know today, or they pick and choose who they want to know tomorrow, and they kind of limit their numbers. So I just knew people from sport, from neighborhoods, from parties, from just people everywhere.
And see, what he said is most people limit the numbers that they show. They prejudge them. What he says is talk to everybody. People are everywhere. I guarantee you that's one of the keys. And if you're looking for some more people that want to build a business, one of the things you can do is come up with another list of names, because chances are you haven't spoken to everybody you know. Right? Don't prejudge, as Tanya says. and seeing what's going to happen. If you go through and you start sharing this with people over again and again and again and again and again, whether they not get in or not is irrelevant, but you get sponsored, you will learn every time you do it. It'll be a prompt to you. To learn more without getting overwhelmed, follow the system we've got and save yourself time, energy and money at teamfsi.net. You see, what we see happen with a lot of people, if they go outside of this, they end up overwhelmed. Why? Because there is so much information online. And they can just go down there never to be seen again. If you stick with this, it's fairly simple. All right, we've got some basics here on the front page about Isagenix and the network marketing industry as a whole. Whole heap of success stories on the next page. Right, a lot of information about the cleanse and nutrition on the third page. Right, and then you've got the compensation plan. If they want to know more about the numbers, go through and do this one. Right, and print off the 4-page document there, watch the videos. How to build page, well there we're listening to the 5 top income earners in the company. The 5 top. I mean, we were talking to one of the ladies today who had been on a Jim Jay Bennett call. She didn't know that we had this on the site. Jay Bennett, ABC 123, brilliant video. Now these guys are all making $40,000 a year. No, $40,000 a week, not $40,000 a year, $40,000 a week. Right? We've also got Kathy Cooper on there who talks about the fact you're going to have to sponsor, 20 to find your 5. Stick with your 5. Right? And GPS to ISA Millionaire, it's all there. Team FSI share sheet, it's all there. You can go through and hand this out. And what I was excited here, well, this covers what Jay said. We need to be teaching our people. And ask them, when are you going consultant? When are you going manager? What are you doing for director? Well, they need to know what it is. And he's saying, who do you know that eats food? Well, you can say, who do you know that eats food and you want to benefit by being your first 2 enrollees? Right? You share, they share, repeat. Right? Pretty simple. Right? We've got a simple contact over there. So you can go through, all of this is there, it's all on the site. Then you can go ahead and let them know. They can have whatever product system they like. I'd say to people, if you're serious about building the business and financially you can afford it, more product you get to start with, the better. Like any other shop or any other business, you need to know your products. But again, if you can only afford 1 or 2 products to start with, that's fine too. If you want a weight loss, minimum 30-day program, get a good result. But generally speaking, what we all find is the more product we eat, the better we feel. Enroll and become a preferred customer, and then go ahead and set up an orientation call or meeting with your people. And Jay was talking about this today too. Right? Then the last one is, how would you feel if you'd achieved your ultimate goal? You go back to that. How would they feel if they'd achieved their goals? And have you got any questions? What would you like to do from here? And that's normally the end of the presentation. But you can go ahead and you can download that from the Team FSI website. But one of the things I want to point out here, if you're serious about making the money and you want to make more this year than last year, what I'd suggest you do is get this director done if you're not already a director. If you are, start thinking about, maybe executive. But just have a look at that, right? And again, counsel upline with that beforehand, right? Different situations, no matter what your goals are. The director is a good one, right? Because you get the director, what will happen, you get it done by the 26th of August, right? They're going to double your cycles. They'll pay you twice for each cycle that you do. Instead of getting $60 a week, you get $120 a week for 12 weeks. And if you hit executive, they're going to triple it for each week that you do it. So all the details of this are in your back office. We're going to do a function over in Adelaide on the 14th of July, a couple of weeks. So really excited about that. And same old, Aqaba Hotel, Fullerton. And that'll be fantastic. Really excited about it. Looking forward to doing that. And guys, just if you want to make more money this financial year than last financial year from Isagenix, this is what you're going to have to do. And I suggest if you haven't already done it, download a version of this, version 6, includes Spain and a few new slides, right? Practice going through it, do it with other people as well, and it'll be awesome. So we've got a few questions in here. Let me just have a look. Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot. Right, the most brilliant webinar, perfect training tool for anyone to get started, fast track to success. Right. All good, guys. So anyway, that's it. And been an absolute pleasure sharing. I can't tell you how excited I am. I just know what's going to happen, guys, right? You can't keep saying this, doing this, not get excited. I mean, that's just what's been happening for me. I've been going through it again and again and again, and every time you go through it, you look at it, you listen to all those videos, you just get more and more excited. And that's what's going on. And you start speaking it out, you start sharing with the other people. It's like a 45-minute, hour long, depending on how long it takes you, affirmation. In the end, you get what you say. You keep saying it. If you're sitting down and just clicking play on a video, it doesn't go in the same. You speak it out, you'll get it. Right? I mean, in the end, it's a personal development game. And if you can't, psych yourself up to be able to sit down with someone on a one-on-one and go click, 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 and read the slides, you need the personal development. Do it to the dog a few times first. Right? Practice. That's what we all did, true? That's it. It doesn't matter who you practice it to, but you just practice, 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 and in the end you've got someone sitting there with you. It's easy. Then you've got 2 or 3 people around the table, a bit more difficult, but then all of a sudden you've got to stand up, and now you've got a lounge room full, and you're putting it through the TV. Later on you have rooms full, seminars full. But that's how you learn. But you've got to get out of your comfort zone to do it. You've got to decide what it is that you want, decide the price, then go and pay it. It's as simple as that. But just so exciting today to see both Zach and Jay, as far as I'm concerned, back up totally what we're doing here. That's why I just wanted to put it in, because I promise you, when you go through and you read it now, it reads a lot better. The whole thing flows a lot better. We start off with the TV news report, instant credibility, weight loss, huge problem. We can solve that. How do we know that? Because it's good enough to put on a Channel 7 news report. Not just the fact that we've done $6 billion. That's for the melancholies. They want to see the bigger picture. So what we're trying to do with this presentation is you're trying to cover all the different personality types in one hit. You hear me? And they won't, some of the people won't get all the figures, but if they start saying it again and again and again, in the end they will get it, just the same as kids learn tables. How do you learn tables at school? You don't look at it once. It's repetition. You speak it out, true? That used to be in my day. Guess it still happens. But anyway, guys, very, very excited with what we got out there. So excited about the team that's coming together here. And it really is fantastic. And I just, thank Mary again for doing so much on the Facebook pages and just keeping all that going, and everybody else. Leith, I mean, there's a whole heap of stuff in there that Leith has come up with and been teaching his team. Timmy Dwyer, rang me the other day and said, Trev, what about this, this, and this? And we talked about it, and I kept thinking about it for a couple of days, and then, woke up Sunday morning, I'm thinking, okay, well, I think I can fix that. I spent all day working on it, but it's been a collaborative team effort. And, but in the end, it's just a matter of, do it, plan, do, check, and then adjust it. That's how you're going to become a successful in any field. Plan, do, check, adjust. This is the phase we're going through here. Get it out. A few different people can try it, try different things, get a few different, but I'm so excited with the way it works now, because, man, I promise you, it just flows now. I reckon we got it at the point now where you can just hand it to someone and say, okay, you read the slides. You answer the questions to what the questions are on the slides, and you just keep pressing play. It'd make sense. Right? That's it. It would make sense. Anyway, guys, let me just unmute everybody. And all good.
Cheers, Trev. That was awesome.
Amazing. Good night, Trev. Thanks, mate.
Just brilliant. Thank you so much.
Got to watch this webinar again tomorrow.